Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this. Ripple is putting all its eggs in one basket with XRP. Brad Garlinghouse just said there will be a $1 trillion crypto company. I don't doubt it for a second. I believe Ripple has the chance to be that company, and maybe there will be more than one. I think there will be more than $1 trillion crypto company, but I believe Ripple will most likely be the first. Wait until XRP breaks out. Look at how quick the price and the valuation of Ripple will change. A lot of people said that that's the reason why they'll never let XRP reach certain price points, because all of a sudden Chris Larsen would be a trillionaire. I'm telling you now, Ripple is going to be bigger than Amazon. Ripple's going to be bigger than Apple and Microsoft combined. Ripple is on the path to becoming a massive central bank in the very near future. XRP Ledger payment volume reaches 773 million XRP. So they're talking about a lot of this XRP that's moving between accounts in a single day. And it was 773 million XRP. Now they're starting to talk about that this could possibly be actual utility kicking in on the XRP ledger. We really don't know for sure, and I think it's just speculation right now, but something big is happening on the XRP ledger. We're seeing a lot of momentum there now, and that momentum doesn't show any signs of slowing down. In fact, it looks like it's accelerating day after day. XRP saw 4.11 billion traded on Upbit in just 7 days, signaling strong activity despite a price dip. So it looks like South Korea is buying the dip. $4 billion traded on Upbit in just 7 days. While everyone else is panicking, they are buying the fear. That's why I always tell you, when there's blood in the streets, that's when you gotta be buying XRP. This way, you have no regrets later. And South Korea, they absolutely love this cryptocurrency. Coinbase users hit by trading disruption, fix deployed. So this is what everyone saw. We are aware that customers may be unable to buy, sell, transfer on Coinbase.com at this time. Our team is investigating this issue and will provide an update. Your funds are safe. I'm telling you now, get your crypto off the exchanges. Not your keys, not your crypto. Custody your own crypto. You know, we are going to see a major bottleneck with exchanges after regulations get here. Now, Coinbase, it'll still be around, but who wants to deal with this time and time again? And any exchange that isn't doing KYC or AML, they're going to fold up very soon. And it's going to happen like an overnight event. Everything is about know your customer and anti-money laundering. If you lose your crypto because you're storing it on an exchange that doesn't follow regulations, then that is on you. Everybody has been warning everyone else for a while now. Breaking, Ripple Joel Katz says XRP Ledger is built to capture trillions as DeFi stalls at $150 billion. Smart contracts are not the advantage. You got to take a listen to this clip. And I usually hate to play longer clips, but this is a must listen to. Take a listen.
So I'll start from a sort of broad view and then kind of zoom in a little bit. Broadly, I do think DeFi is going to replace TradFi. And in order for it to do that, it's going to have to provide the stuff that everybody needs out of TradFi. We're not going to do it with cryptocurrency speculation, gambling, and over-collateralized, loans over-collateralized by crypto. Not that those are bad things, not that there aren't markets for those things. We've grown to something like $150 billion, DeFi ecosystem on those things. But that's not going to, get into the multi-trillion dollar, eat into TradFi. We're going to have to do this stuff stuff that like ordinary people need. And right now that can't come from inside the cryptocurrency space. It just isn't big enough and it doesn't have enough sort of economic activity. We need things like treasuries. We need things like, tokenized real world assets that are, equities, stocks, bonds, money market funds, all of those things that and payments are going to have to plug into the rest of the world, because until everybody's on crypto, or on blockchains or in DeFi, we have to be able to get money in and out. So if we're going to have DeFi grow beyond where it's kind of been stuck at $150 billion for 2 years now. And some of the growth has been illusory. It's just come from the fact that cryptocurrency prices have gone up rather than from the market really growing. And the reason that we're stuck is because we can't do the stuff that normal people need. And one of the most traditional TradFi functions is lending. And what's interesting to me, banks lend. That's like the core business of a bank is to lend. And so lending is the core TradFi business. And what's interesting to me is not so much on the borrower side, but the lending side, because lending is how banks make their money. And lending is a rational investment that makes sense for a lot of people to participate in, but it does have some problems. One of them is that you may get locked in a loan for a long period of time until the loan gets paid back. So if you lend somebody money for 10 years and you need money tomorrow, then you have to go through this mess of trying to sell the loan, which can be annoying. It's also hard to know how a portfolio of loans is performing. So what happens with Amendment 65 and 66 on the XRP ledger is these are TradFi loans in the sense that somebody does creditworthiness off-chain. You have to do that. Unless it's going to be over collateralized, which is a niche product, someone has to decide who deserves a loan and who will be able to pay it back. And then you have to deal with the problem of, well, what if the person who wanted to pay the loan back can't? What if they have potential bankruptcy or insolvency? What if you have to sue them? You're not going to sue them on chain, right? You're going to have to sue them, and you might have to, there's all kinds of actions that might take place. And so what 65 and 66 do on the XRP ledger is they let all that stuff take place off chain. So it's very much TradFi lending, except the portfolios of loans are tokenized. So that means you can contribute to the money that's lent out, and then you have a portfolio of loans. And you can see the value of that on the DEX. So you can sell your portfolio. If you need money tomorrow when you didn't expect to, you can sell. If you want to get into a portfolio of loans that's doing well, you can see what's doing well by the pricing and you can buy it. And then you can also tell if loans are in jeopardy, the price of the token will fall. And so you'll be able to assess from day to day the performance of your portfolio. And the special niche for the XRP ledger, and the reason why I think the XRP ledger is so well positioned to do this, is because it does not have smart contracts. Now, I know that sounds like a disadvantage, but normally on other platforms, you couldn't implement this kind of functionality without smart contracts. And there's two problems with smart contracts. One of them is that the person who creates the smart contract generally arranges some way of them sort of owning or controlling. Like if you look at traditional DEXs like on Ethereum, most of them are owned and managed by a small group, and there's multiple competing DEXs on the same chain. These would be core XRP ledger features. So there might be competing portfolios of loans, but they'll all be subject to the same rules. And all the tools will know how to use them. And so you won't have the risk of smart contract problems or bugs in the smart contract or competing smart contracts. You'll have a unified feature, best-in-class implementation presented by the ledger. And I think TradFi loans are one of those things that just the potential market, the potential market for cryptocurrency trading and speculation is kind of stuck at 150 billion, but the potential market for TradFi loans is way in the trillions. So I think it's a much bigger market, and I think it will help get the whole DeFi ecosystem out of this 2-year stall that it's.
So he's saying through loans, we will see this become a multi-trillion-dollar market. And take notice, he also said that we could invest into those loans and create portfolios around those loans through tokenization. He also said that tokenization is what's going to bring trillions of dollars in value to the XRP ledger, which that's what we've been talking about for a while now. And everybody's like, well, why are we still stuck in the billions? Well, David Schwartz just summed it up for you right there. So now we know that a lot of value is about to hit the ledger, which means a lot of value is about to hit the price of XRP as well. And I guess David Schwartz got tired of the Bitcoin maxis. So David calls out Bitcoin. He said, not really. I think Bitcoin is largely a technological dead end for the same reason the dollar is. The technology just doesn't seem to matter all that much to its success, at least not at the blockchain layer. What have I been telling you for a while now? What's really going to make Bitcoin irrelevant is technology advancing forward. As technology continues to advance, even scalability, it's all about scalability now. Bitcoin cannot scale, and its technology is years behind what we're seeing now, even with new blockchains popping up day after day, new cryptocurrencies popping up day after day. technology doesn't slow down. It only moves forward. And as it moves forward, Bitcoin becomes irrelevant. Then he said this: Bitcoin will, at some point, need a fork to be quantum proof. I guess that will be at least one case where technological changes will be necessary or Bitcoin will collapse. Like I've been telling you this entire time, Bitcoin is always going to have that risk from quantum computers. And they still believe, Bitcoin maxis still believe that that quantum computers are still 5 or 10 years out. Yet you see Google telling the US government to start advancing when it comes to quantum proof, because they already know it's most likely only 2 or 3 years away. Then he said this: oh, one last thing. Unlike some blockchains, once quantum-resistant algorithms are deployed, XRP ledger users will not need a new receiving address to take advantage of them. Existing accounts can be resecured. DNA protocol delivers proof-based identity via off-ledger ZK proofs anchored immutability on the XRP ledger, replacing key-based security with cryptographic proof. So even DNA protocol is part of the quantum proof system on the XRP ledger. But we knew the XRP ledger was going to be quantum proof into the future. When it comes to Bitcoin, I'm really telling you now that I think there's going to be a major issue there very soon. Explosive NDA leak. XRP flagged as the only ledger built to survive. So in 2016, Lord Belgrave, a former City of London banker, reviewed NDA drafts and briefing materials from that period. He noted that public and private key systems, which secure most blockchains, were identified as vulnerable once quantum computing reached operational capability. The documents outline timelines, attack surfaces, and systemic risk, concluding that ledgers dependent solely on static secret keys would eventually face critical threats. Belgrave explained that the XRP ledger was treated differently. It was described as an adaptable system, capable of evolving beyond traditional key-based authority. The papers explored moving towards identity-based proofs, with human-like credentials and verifiable identity forming the ledger's control layer. And you see it now, but that was back in 2016. I think a lot of other networks will now survive. I know Algo is quantum safe. I know Hedera is quantum safe as well. And I think it's most of these ISO 222 networks. They're already ready for quantum computers. But this is going to be a serious issue very soon. And there's going to be more talk about it as we start to see the rise of quantum computing. But everything is happening now. It's like technology is jumping so quick now. It's not like it was a few years ago. Look at the way AI is advancing already. And you're starting to see AI and blockchain come together now, because I think we're very close to the rise of the new financial system. Everything is going to be fully automated within the next 2-3 years. I think it all happens most likely before 2030. I've always said that because I think you could shed a couple of years off that 2030 deadline. But no matter how you look at this, in the end, XRP holders, we are going to get financial freedom. A lot of us, as long as we have a great game plan, we could get generational wealth here. But you got to put your crypto to work for you. I just don't think we're ready for that yet. I think once we get that institutional adoption, that will take away a lot of the risk when it comes to getting returns on your crypto. I also think we need regulations first as well. That's going to be the first key. Regulations, then institutional adoption, then us earning off of our crypto. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.